Hi everyone, we are the Group 2 and we are going to report about the Chapter 5, which is all about the volcanic hazard. By the way, I am John Edward Yatakutan and I am going to report about the first part. So I hope you listen very carefully and I hope you would like this one. Introduction about the volcanoes. Number 1, volcanoes are natural systems. Natural system because it is not a man-made and no one can control it. Number 2, volcanoes can be exciting and fascinating, but they can also be very dangerous. Very dangerous in the sense that they can affect the human lives when they are going to erupt. Number 3, any kind of active volcano is capable of creating harmful and deadly hazard. One of the common active volcanoes here in the Philippines that causes harmful and deadly hazard is the Mount Mayon located in Albay. Number 4, many scientists have studied about volcanoes but they do not necessarily know everything about it because no one knows what exactly was on that volcano. Let's go now to the various volcano-related hazards. The first one is the lahar. It is a kind of mud flow made up of volcanic debris and they can form in a number of situations. Namely, number 1, when small slopes collapses, gather on their way down a volcano. Number 2, through rapid melting of ice and snow during an eruption. Number 3, from heavy rainfall on loose volcanic debris. Number 4, when a volcano erupts through a crater lake. Or, number 5, when a crater lake drains because of overflow or wall collapse. Those are the situations that lahar can be formed. Let's go now to the destructive characteristics of lahar. Number 1, lahar moves down the valley like the river on concrete. Number 2, lahar can occur with or without volcanic eruption. Number 3, lahar pick up materials as they travel, which can cause damage to structures in their way. Number 4, lahar and excess sediment can cause serious economic and environmental damage to river valleys and floodplains. Number 2 volcano-related hazard is the ashfall or the volcanic ashes. Ashfalls consist of fragments of pulverized rocks, minerals, and volcanic glass created from the eruption of the volcano, and it is measured by 2 mm or 2 mm in diameter. The term volcanic ash refers to all the explosive products from the eruption of the volcano. Ashes will be formed when dissolved gases in magma escape and expand violently in the atmosphere. And for the conclusion of this report, I will pass it on to the next report. Thank you for listening.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Shandy Buos and my report is all about pyroclastic flows. Pyroclastic flows contains a high-density mix of hot lava blocks, pumice, ash, and volcanic gas. It occurs as part of certain eruptions. A pyroclastic flow is extremely hot. Burning anything in its path, it may move at speeds as high as 200 meters per second. Most of pyroclastic flows consist of two parts. A lower flow, of course, fragments that moves along the ground, and a turbulent cloud of ash that rises above the basal flow. Ash may fall from this cloud over a wide area downwind from the pyroclastic flow. Pyroclastic flows form in different ways. Collapse of eruption column. During a highly explosive eruption, the column ejected upward into the atmosphere cools and can become too cool and dense to maintain upward momentum. Boiling over from eruptive vent. During an explosive eruption, material is erupted without forming a high fume and rapidly moves downslope. And lastly, collapse of lava domes or flows. The front of lava flows or domes can become so steep that they collapse due to gravitational force. In addition, based on my research, Pyroclastic flows are one of the most deadly of volcanic hazards because they rapidly moving avalanches of hot rock, dust, and gas that flows down the side of volcano and into surrounding valley. They can also climb up and over ridges and high ground. They can be dangerous because they can flow often faster than a car, so that there's a little chance for you to escape. What makes them especially lethal and devastating is they are extremely hot. During the day, they appear gray, and at night, they can be seen glowing red hot. They destroy everything in their way. Death and severe injury is certain.
Hello everyone, I'm Joel Contesiwa and my topic is all about volcanic gases. Magma contains dissolved gases which provide the driving force that causes most volcanic eruptions. As magma rises towards the surface and pressure decreases, gases are released from the liquid portion of the magma which melt and continue to travel upward and all eventually released into the atmosphere. Large eruptions can release enormous amounts of gas in a short time. The 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo is thought to have ejected more than 250 megatons of gas into the upper atmosphere on a single day. However, even if magma never reaches the surface, gases can often escape continuously into the atmosphere from the soil, volcanic vents, fumaroles, and hydrothermal systems. The harmful effect of volcanic gases. By far the most abundant volcanic gas is water vapor, which is harmless. However, significant amount of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and hydrogen halides can also be emitted from volcanoes. Depending on their concentration, these gases are all potentially hazardous to people, animals, agriculture, and properties. The harmful effect of these gases are summarized below. First is carbon dioxide. Trapped in low-lying areas can be lethal to people and animals. Second is sulfur dioxide. Is irritating to eyes, skin, and respiratory system. Hydrogen sulfide is very toxic in high concentrations. Lastly is the hydrogen halides, are strong toxic acids.
Lava flows. Lava flows are streams of molten rocks that pour over ooze from the eruption vent. So, lava is erupted during either non-explosive activity or explosive lava fountains. The speed at which lava moves across the ground depends on several factors, including number 1, type of lava erupted and its viscosity. Number 2, steepness of the ground over which it travels. Number 3, whether the lava flows as a broad sheet through a confined channel or down a lava tube. And number 4, rate of lava production at the vent. Devastating effects of lava flows. So the effects of lava flows is number 1, lava flows may instigate other types of hazards. So when the lavas flow into one thing, so it will be destroyed. So number 2, everything in the path of an advancing lava flow will be knocked over, surrounded, buried, and ignited by the extremely hot temperature of lava. So the lava is so very hot, so any kind of thing na matadaanan nito is na talaga masisira. So when the lava, number 3, when lava erupted beneath and glacier of flows over snow and ice melt water from the ice, and snow can result in far reacting lahars. So when the lava go into a liquid thing like water, like ice, so the lava make it will be react, magiging ano siya, lahars. So if it enters, number 4, if it enters a body of water, or water enters a lava tube, the water may boil violently and cause an explosion shower of molten sputter over a wide area. So mag-react ang water sa sobrang init ng lava. If nadaanan ng lava ang water, so it make magsha-shower na tubig na mainit. So number 5, methane gas produced as lava buries vegetation can migrate in subsurface voids and explode when heated. So the number 6 is thick viscous lava flows, especially those that build a dome, can collapse to form fast-moving pyroclastic flows.
Basilic projectile. So what is basilic projectile? These are the rocks of an erupting volcano we hurl up to the air. These are the fragments of basilic trajectories that may differ from the wind direction during volcanic eruption. These blocks and bombs are travel like a candy bomb, and it is usually land 2 kilometers of the vent. So these events first without warning. That's why we need to be ready always, especially if we are near from volcano. So ballistic projectile is limited about 5 kilometers of the vent. Next is the devastating effects of basilic projectile. We all know that tetrapholes and basilic projectile is endangered in life and property. First is the force impact of cutting fragments, but this occurs only close to the eruption. Next is use of agricultural, which tend to the fragments is burial 10 cm depth. The next one is producing suspensions of fine-grained particles in air and water, who clogs filters and vents of motors, human lungs, industrial machines, and nuclear power plants. Basilic projectiles are carrying of noxious gases, acids, salts, close to the vent, and heat. Burial by tetra can collapse buildings, break of power and communication lines, damage or kill vegetation. Therefore, basilic projectile has a huge impact in our daily lives, especially in our health, in our agriculture, and in everything that's surrounded by. Therefore, we need to always be prepared, especially if we are near in the active volcanoes.
And now, let's proceed to the next topic, which is the signs of an impending volcanic eruption. And I, Shiny Girl, will discuss about it. When we say impending, it means occurring or likely to occur soon. So ngayon, i-discuss ko ang mga signs or warning before magkaroon ng volcanic eruption. Most volcanoes provide various types of warnings before eruption begin, such as first is an increase in the frequency and intensity of felt earthquakes. So, ang naramdaman nating paglindol ay isa rin sa mga sign na magkakaroon o maaaring magkaroon ng volcanic eruption. Dulot kasi ito ng pagka-increase ng movement o pagkataas ng movement ng magma. Next is the noticeable steaming or fumarolic activity and new or enlarged areas of hot ground. So, isa rin sa mga sign na pagkakaroon ng usok sa mga groundwater na malapit sa bulkan. At yun na nga ang tawag doon ay isang fumarolic activity. Also, ang hot spring na malapit sa mga volcano ay nagkakaroon ng pagka-increase ng temperature na hot temperature. The third sign is subtle swelling of the ground surface. Isa rin ito sa mga sign na maaring magkaroon ng volcanic eruption. Ito ay ang pagkakaroon ng ground deformation that is likely having cracks caused by the magma, gases, and other fluids. So, nakikita niyo sa picture, meron itong mga ang nagkakaroon ng cracks or sinking or swelling ang lupa. People living near volcanoes may detect premonitory events before an eruption. Yun na nga, usually mas madaling ma-detect ng mga tao malalapit sa bulkan if ever man na magkaroon ng volcanic eruption kasi sila yung mas nakaka-observe at mas nakakaramdam ng mga signs na nabanggit ko or ng mga warnings na nabanggit ko kanina. They can also use instruments for monitoring. For example, in monitoring steaming or fumarolic activity, they can use geophysical, geodetic, and geochemical techniques such as yung nakikita nyo sa mga picture. Diyan. Yan yung mga kind of instruments na ginagamitan ng geophysical, geodetic, and geochemical techniques. In monitoring earthquakes, seismometers are useful. And if there are swelling and ground deformation, precision instruments and techniques are useful. There are also measurement of changes in heat flow. It can be measured by repeated infrared surveys or by direct measurements. Kung saan ang changes ng temperature ng hot spring water at pagkakaroon ng fumarolic activity ay pwedeng maging susi sa pagkakaroon ng analysis of gases and can be useful in detecting warning signs before an eruption. Next, detection and interpretation of precursory events. The overall success of a monitoring system, provided its result, was helpful to warn on time the people and to evacuate them before an eruption. However, although they can detect an increase of possibility of an eruption and its location, but then they cannot exactly measure the kind of scale or kung gaano pa kalala ang volcanic eruption na ito, especially in the first time eruption. So, they cannot also know the exact day kung kailan ba magkakaroon ng eruption. Because even though meron mga warning signs na lumabas, the volcanic eruption can be probably lalabas after weeks, months, or even years. Overall, this monitoring system is helpful, but then it cannot pinpoint the exact timing or even its surfing or of having a volcanic eruption. And that's the end of my topic about the signs of an impending volcanic eruption. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a good day ahead. Bye.
So, hi everyone, my name is Jessa Sindan and my topic is all about interpreting different volcano hazard map. So first is on the succeeding page of different volcano hazard maps. The first two maps show the location site of active major volcano in different parts of globe in the Philippines respectively. The other maps indicate the potential hazard zone, extent of vulnerability, potential impact areas as possible hazard that may result from volcano eruption. So next is to read the maps one by one and learn how to interpret them. The maps show different data and information by employing color codes and scholar system of illustration. Knowing how to interpret volcano hazard maps may help during emergency plan in the event of volcanic eruption and in taking precautionary measures even before the event takes place. So the next page is showing the world major volcanoes, and this is the world major volcanoes. So the next page also world major volcanoes. So they have a table here, and the first table is so kung saan mo makikita yung active volcanoes, and the second table is the height of the volcanoes from the ground, and the third table is the last eruption kung kailan siya nag-erupt, and the lastly is the also major eruption kung kailan o ano ang mga taon na nag-erupt ang volcanoes. So the next is the major volcanoes of the Philippines. So makikita nyo dyan sa picture kung what is the major volcanoes of the Philippines. So nandyan ang Mount Pinatubo, Mount Taal, Mayon, Canlaon, and in the Mindanao is the Agang. So next is the map showing pyroclastic flows from Mount Pinatubo. So makikita nyo dyan sa slide or picture ang pyroclastic flows from the Mount Pinatubo. So the next page is the simplified hazard map or showing the potential impact for the ground base. So makikita nyo dyan sa picture is kung ano yung mga simplified hazard map. So the red color is the vent areas of explosive of volcanoes, and the color red, orange, yellow is the lahars or volcano mud flows. So next is the brown is the regional lava flows, and last the black is the area adjacent to explosive. So next is the map showing volcanic hazard zone. So kikita nyo dyan sa picture na may number 1 to none or 9 to 1 is that is the increasing severity of hazard. So mapansin nyo dira is the mas daghan ang 2 kaysa sa ibang number. So ibig sabihin niya is mas daghan dira na lugar is mas daghan ang increasing severity of hazard of the volcanic. So next is the simplified hazard map or showing potential impact for Aron base in the Crater Lake or Oregon. So makikita nyo dyan, the Crater Lake is the blue one, and the violet is the near volcano, and the red, orange, yellow is lahar, so the volcanic mud flows, the brown is the regional lava flows. And last is the map illustrating hazard at the Pato Sabancaya Volcanic Complex. So, kita nyo dyan kung ano ang itsura ng map illustrating hazard.
Take cautionary measures before, during, and after volcanic eruption. So, these are dangers that volcanic eruptions pose to people, so it is important that they know how to handle situations before, during, and after volcanic eruptions to avoid serious problems. The following are precautionary measures before, during, and after volcanic eruption that may help save lives. That's from Webull's Emergency Advisory. So, the first is the before volcanic eruption. Number 1 is be aware of the dangers that volcanic eruptions pose to lives, and be prepared to face whatever circumstances that eruption may bring. Number 2, prepare all necessary things to bring once evacuation is needed. Those in danger zones are warned when to evacuate. Once given signal, obey instructions, so that refusing to evacuate will pose more serious problems. So number 3 is store as much food, water, light sources, and batteries that are very useful in case of emergency. So number 4, volcanic eruptions have ash falls, so be prepared for masks or anything to cover nose and mouth. So the last one is prioritize the safety of children and the elderly before other things. Take them to relatives who are far from the volcano and let them stay at them until volcanic emergency subsides. So the second one is the during volcanic eruption. Number 1 is avoid all low-lying places because lava flows and mud flows are more likely to pass here. Number 2, seek cover in case of pyroclastic falls and ballistic projectiles. Number 3, use mask and cover nose and mouth to avoid breathing in ashes. Number 4, if inside a house, close all doors and windows to avoid ashes from getting inside. Stay indoors. Last thing is, if evacuated, stay in the evacuation center until further instructions. Do not attempt to leave the places unless told to do. Last part is after volcanic eruption. So number 1 is check house and place if already safe. Number 2, clean everything around and check all damages. 3, use mask while cleaning ash and other debris. 4th is wait for further announcements related to the volcano activities. And the last one is number 5, make sure that house is still safe for the whole family. Volcanic eruptions are the precautionary measures of the volcanic eruption. So all of those are volcanic eruption is one of the most dangerous natural events because of the different hazards that may it bring, namely lahars, lava, ash falls, pyroclastic flows, and emission of volcanic gases. These hazards inflict devastating effects to people, physical structures, and to the environment. Volcanic eruptions happen with early warnings unlike earthquakes that are sudden. There are early warning signs before a volcano erupts, so there is at least time for residents around the volcano to prepare before a volcano erupts. There are warning signs such as rumbling sounds, continuous emissions of steam, increasing temperature around the volcano that results to withering of plants around and unusual behaviors of animals and earthquakes. These early warning signs make people easier to prepare compared to earthquake hazards.